And we're back with another episode of the Mike and Sully Podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Sully.
And we are excited to be here for the 6th installment of Season 3. We're past the halfway point.
Getting there.
If you missed our Halloween special in Episode 5, make sure to go check that out. And if you're like an avid listener of the episode, or episodes, try and watch that one.
Oh yeah.
Try and get a.
It's a visual pod. And
Yes.
It's very funny. Lots of flashbacks.
Yes, lots of flashbacks, lots of pictures from old costumes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Today, not too visual. Well, actually, also pretty visual.
We have show and tell.
There will be some show and tell. So if you have the chance, if you're driving right now, listening to the pod, pull over. And just relax
Don't do
on the side of the road for the next hour to maybe 3. And just hang out with us.
Yeah, and then while you have your phone out after the episode's done, just shoot us an email. I think it's pretty easy. Click on you have the email in the subject line.
Yes.
So just go right there and please write to us.
How will they know which email is ours?
Mike Sully Pod at gmail.com.
Yes.
Type out the and.
It is not an ampersand.
No symbols in this.
No.
Friendship.
No. Wow. That's like a fun, deep metaphor. There are no symbols in this friendship. It's been about probably 60 seconds since we told people to take out their phones and look at us. So, officer, please understand. They were trying to watch us on the episode. Please don't write them a ticket right now.
Yeah.
I just know that's happened to at least one person so far. So, like in the future. I'm talking in the future. No one that we know, has been pulled over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're excited.
Show this to the officer and you'll get out of jail free.
Yes.
And also we'll get another listener. So
right. That we would appreciate. And I actually have family in the
nice.
Whatever that brotherhood would be referred to as, sisterhood, cophood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just drop my name and they'll know who it is.
Mike from Mike and Sully.
Mike from Mike and Sully and his brother, who is a police officer. But yeah, we're very excited to be here and to start this episode. And I know we've got a lot going on in this new recording studio. I don't think we expected to record the next episode here because last episode was supposed to be just kind of a one-off, and this has kind of turned into a fun little excursion here on a weekend. We had a nice morning. We went and did some what? Right. That's right. My apologies. Yes. So there are Christmas happiness at stake. Yes.
Yeah.
We can.
Which we'll reveal once the gifts are delivered.
We could have bleeped that.
Yeah.
But I like the light clearing of the throat. I feel like I'm very far away from the microphone.
Anyways, we had a really fun morning. We listened to Christmas music a little bit.
Yes.
And we did some Christmas shopping, or birthday shopping, I guess. Technically birthday shopping.
Insert. Right there, a very brief snippet of the Christmas song I played for you guys. Because I think if you only play like a few seconds, you can't get taken down. Maybe we'll look into the law on that one, like DMCA'd or whatever it's called.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Can you play the good part though?
Wait.
With the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was making sure you didn't want me to play Christmas rapping.
I did, but
everybody's heard that.
And then realized.
We're happy. Our sports correspondent.
Champagne.
Our sports correspondent had the Colts game going on behind the scenes because I was interested, and the timing of this worked out in such a way where it's late in the games, and so we could confirm they've won the game. Wow.
Go Colts.
Go Colts. We're very happy now. Feel free to shut that down or keep playing it. Do what you like. Thank you to our sports correspondent.
Dedicated correspondent over there.
Yes. Oh. Also our cooking correspondent Celia is just making all the rounds.
Tasks.
Yes. Thank you for that. And thank you to our fans, by the way, as a quick aside, for making the Celia episode the most listened to episode in season 3. So
no surprise on that one.
No surprise. Honestly. No. We know if we learned anything from our 3 seasons of recording, our fans love a guest. They couldn't care less for us. But they love a guest because our most listened to episode ever was season 1 with Boo. That has like over 100 listens.
Wow.
And then Celia's episode did great in season 3. And then season 2, because we had Sonia?
Yes, we had Sonia.
Sonia was on. I know that episode did well. Did we have another guest on?
We had to make another appearance.
Well, we had Professor Snowflake on.
We did.
I don't know. I don't think that episode did very well.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Well, in season 1 we had Roz on.
Oh yeah, and that one did pretty well too. Actually. Yeah, that was the first time we recorded with this mic. Yeah, it was a good time. So yes, we actually plan on hopefully having more guests to end season 3. Yeah. And I know one of those guests we're hoping to have, you have just recently had some interactions with.
Yeah, well, because he's my father.
Right.
So. A lot. But yeah, quick recap on the last couple weeks. It's been a while. I had to go to work, and we flew to London for my trip, and my dad joined. And so when he shows up on the podcast, hopefully soon, he's going to talk about his experience as a passenger flying 10 hours to go lay over internationally for 24 hours and then come right back and let us know what he thought about that. And also any...
So he was just there for the layover? Wow.
Yeah. I wanted to get a sense of what it's like to just turn around and go back.
Of course.
Yeah. Except for it's different because he had to be in economy and in the middle seat, and
you were
got to
flying
sleep for
later.
half of it in a bed.
Yeah.
So a little different, and I feel bad about that. But anyway, so he'll tell us his thoughts on that once he works up the courage to join us.
Yes.
Got a little cold feet.
Nervous. And that's all right.
It's okay.
Schedules are tough, and it's an intimidating arena to come into.
Yeah, intimidating people here.
Very much so. I put him on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Who did you vote for? But
in the meantime, so we wanted him to join for this episode.
Yeah.
He got a little nervous and also decided to go to Mexico. So 2 things happened.
Wow.
But he did send some merch, which I'm going to...
We've got a merch reveal. Not Mike and Sully merch.
Not Mike and Sully merch. Merch from his own company.
Right. Okay.
You can open it up.
Okay.
I think there might be...
Is there more stuff?
There might be. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Because I'm liking this.
Yeah.
This is sleek. So, okay. We got something on the arm.
So... For the fans, if you're watching this...
You're kind of doxing the...
Sorry.
What? No, the arm.
What about it?
Well, it just has your family name on it.
I know, we can't really read what's on the arm.
Oh, you can't read what's on
You can, though.
I can. I'll check and see,
It's
and then
got a
I'll
name
blur
on
it. I'll blur it if necessary.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can go back into show and tell
Well,
me.
no, why don't you show us?
Okay.
For just the audio listeners, it's a black sweatshirt. There's one for Mike and Celia. And then there's a gray logo, like in the top left corner.
There you go.
Of one of his airplanes.
Very nice. I actually really like that airplane.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
My cousin designed that.
And then,
And then on the sleeve, it has the name of the company, but we will not be disclosing that because it's my name.
Blank Aviation.
Blank Aviation, yes.
So.
Right. Anyways, he wanted to send some merch for you since he couldn't be here. So.
That is very kind. Thank you to Sully's dad.
No nickname for him yet.
No, but there will be.
Yes.
Yes, when eventually we record.
Yeah.
Well, this is very exciting. Thank you. Yeah. Store it over there. Was that Celia's that I was just holding?
I think so.
I really hope so, because it looked very small.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if I physically can fit in this. Oh.
We'll see later.
Okay. I'm nervous. Oh no.
But there's plenty more, so I can just always do a little swap.
A little swap-a-room. Okay. How much merch got ordered?
Oh, he orders merch probably 4 times a year.
And does it get sold?
No. He just gives it.
It's fun merch. Okay, yeah. This is good.
So, like, everyone in the family, I probably have, I would say, like, 15 sweatshirts.
Yeah.
I have a full dresser in the guest room that's just my aviation sweatshirt.
Nice. I don't have a notepad to write down the time. 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes in.
10 minutes.
But we're just going to have to log that. Write it down. So one thing, while Sully's writing that down, one thing that I think we could consider doing is maybe like a holiday giveaway of like a random like couple pieces of merch. Like we don't order in bulk because we wouldn't do anything. But I think that could be fun.
That's a really good idea.
And then more people will listen once they see those 2 people or 3 people wearing our merch. What do you think would be the perfect type of merch for us, though?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Wearing?
I don't think a sweatshirt would be good. No.
But I like the mug. Do you like the mug?
Mug was solid. I was thinking, what about like a CD?
Okay, I was thinking like a tote bag.
A tote bag. That's actually pretty good.
That could be nice.
Ooh. I like that. I want to stay away from hats. Done that. Didn't work.
I like that hat.
Those hats are cool. Hats are cool. Yeah, I like. But tote bag was really good. Mugs are definitely good. They're like, you can never go wrong with a mug. But I think people would store them away.
Tough. Yeah. But tote bag, I mean, that's useful.
Useful. Yeah.
And people will see it when they're like walking around with it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's consider tote bag.
Okay.
We will.
And like, how does someone like enter their name?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think what I'll do is I will make and we'll solidify this in the next few episodes, and then maybe like do it at the very end of the season. But what I'll probably do is create a Mike and Sully Instagram or some sort of social media page, and then we can just have like this post and comment and tag 3 of your friends.
How about you can do that, or if you don't want to do any of that, you can just email us.
Just send us an email if you want to avoid those steps.
And you really don't want to email us, then you would have to do
If you want a tote and a mug, you have to do all of it.
Nice.
Yeah. This is costing us so much more money.
It can't just be like, hi, I want a tote bag. It has to be like...
Yeah, it has to be insightful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
I love that. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. More show and tell, unless you had anything else you wanted to discuss on that side, the family side.
Let's continue.
Part of what we did this morning was we went to a bookstore. Because I don't actually, first of all, this person won't hear this, period. Like, second of all, they won't hear it by the time I've shown the person. So we went to a bookstore, and it is my sister's birthday 2 days ago. And we're celebrating her birthday this evening, my whole family. And so, of course, I needed to get her some sort of gift. And I waited till today. Which is fair and understandable because lives are busy. And that's what she did on my birthday. And there's no animosity in that statement. It's just... I honestly didn't expect anything. I didn't want anything, really. So she, on my birthday this last year, I think was like at Costco the day of. And then... showed up and gave me a box of M&Ms and then a book. And because I'm a pretty avid reader now. And so I thought, okay, this time for her birthday, I will get her something that I think she'll like and then a book. Because she would even admit this herself. I don't think she she said she just saw the book.
Oh.
Like just out, because Costco has like these big, long tables of books. So she just kind of saw the book and grabbed it. Is what I was told, and then bought it. So I, in a similar fashion, was like, well, what's a book that, just looking at it, I'm like, I don't even know if she'll want to read this. But she knew by going with her strategy, she didn't know if I would want to read the book she got me, without getting into the topics. What?
Is she a reader?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This is why it's even funnier.
It is fun.
So basically, she got me a book, whether intentionally or not, that has a lot of topics in it that don't quite connect up here with me.
That makes him sound like...
dumb?
Like
she got me, a rocket science book. That is not what she got me, but Either way, I will. I grab a book and I'm just like, I'm gonna give this book to her. And then if she wants to read it, she can, and if not, no worries. So I got her Becoming Michelle Obama. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
I think it's just called Becoming. And then it's
I've always
by
heard it
Michelle
was
Obama.
Becoming Michelle Obama.
No, that's not possible.
That's what I've always heard it as.
No.
But
Becoming.
I think you're right.
So it's Michelle Obama's like
Can I
book.
see it?
Sure. It's Michelle Obama's book. It's not an autobiography as far as I'm aware. But maybe it is.
Isn't it?
Because it's called Becoming. That doesn't mean it's an autobiography. What are you talking about? No, I'm saying she might have just written a book about, I don't know, like education. And like that, but it's by her. Is it an autobiography?
Yeah, it's her child.
It's an autobiography, folks.
Trying to make me sound dumb.
Well, no, I didn't know. I was more so saying, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So anyways, I bought my sister this book, and we'll see if she likes it. And we also got her a very nice candle.
I have some questions.
So this is partially just a funny bit that we're doing.
Do you think she'll read this?
No.
If she did, do you think she would like it?
Maybe. Honestly, the autobiography aspect of it is what makes me feel not as guilty doing this kind of jokey gift giving. Because it's not like it's taking a stance too much on anything. It's more so just saying, here's this person's life. You know? So,
Sure.
I don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not I might still read the book she got me.
I think you should.
I just gotta find the right time to wiggle it into my
The title of it?
heavy reading schedule. The book I was given. I mean, if I tell that to the audience, I might as well tell them what the book is
Okay,
about.
fine, don't.
Okay. Can I see?
Yeah.
So just to read you some of the chapter names. Becoming Me. Becoming Us. Taking sugar out of vending machines at local high schools. Just kidding. That's not the name of the chapter.
effect I had on.
Yeah. I guess our high school doesn't really matter. But 1726. But yeah, no, there were these super sugary lemonade like drinks. Yeah, and they were gone the second
Because of
second she got in. They were gone. Well, not really the second she got in. It would have been Obama's second term. But once she started,
is it related to her? Do you think? Or
I
do you
would.
think the company would
My high school self ascribed it to her, whether fairly or not. So, apologies to Michelle. I probably didn't need more of those very sugary lemon drinks.
I never had one, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I would go get one every so often at lunch in the vending machine, and it was so good and probably so bad.
Yeah.
So tart. I don't even know why I liked them. But anyways, so that's the book I got my sister for her birthday. Hey everybody, this is Mike, interjecting here just very briefly the day after we recorded, because the bit you just watched and the plan that was formulated to provide a book for a birthday didn't actually end up happening, and it felt disingenuous to pretend like it had. / if someone from my family did watch and was very confused by the story, I wanted to make this very clear. So, kept the book. It's actually right there on the shelf. Right there, that white one. I'm sure I'll read it someday. Very excited to read that. But overall, just didn't feel right after some thought to make a bit of someone's birthday celebration. Especially given that they might have put some genuine thought and care into the book I received for my birthday, even if the book was a little interesting. So, just wanted to quickly interject all that. There shouldn't be any more interruptions the rest of the episode. Enjoy it, and thank you for listening. This little number is another book that you discovered, because we walked by. I said, warbles, right?
Yeah.
And then you said where? And I didn't realize they were birds.
Yeah. I'm kind of in a bird situation right now.
Yeah. And there was this section of books about birds, and one of them was just titled warbles. That's why I said it, because it's a fun word. And then you started pulling books off the shelf, and then Sully pulled this book off the shelf, which, by the way, any of the context aside, just like the shape and overall, like...
Okay, I did see the spine, though.
Spine.
Yeah.
It's just a cool book, I think.
Oh.
Like, I feel like if I just had this, if I just whipped this out in a park one day...
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to talk about how it looks like a religious text.
Oh.
But
I guess it kind of does. Pigeons and Doves, 319. So anyways, this is a book about birds. It's the National Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Birds, Western region. So pretty cool.
It's a great book.
I'm not a bird person, but maybe I can become one.
Yeah.
I think it's in a sad and, admittedly, I'm lost for the word here, but like it just feels like it's gonna look good on my bookshelf kind of vibe. Like,
okay.
Ooh, he has a bird book.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But
well,
in a bad way.
At your winter solstice,
yeah.
I will be sitting in the corner reading it.
There you go.
And I can't wait.
So yeah, so part of the context here is that I'm planning, and Sully, we're planning on celebrating the winter solstice, and so then we open the first page, and there's this handwritten note on the first like interior cover. So I'm gonna read it.
Does it? Oh, it does have a date too.
It does have a date, yeah. And so just like the context of the fact that like we've been talking about this like solstice celebration for a while now. It started with Celia and I, and then like that context, and then just overall context of my family dynamic make this finding of this book very interesting. So I'm going to read the note, and then we'll digest from it.
And for context, for people who, well, most people listening probably are aware, but a winter solstice gathering or party is like celebrating the darkest day of the year.
Right. Yeah, that is.
Like winter being upon us, basically. And also kind of the new year, right? A little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Like bringing it, okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's like just wintry and nighttimey, your
right.
theme of the party. So.
Hey, right. And my longest and darkest night of the year was actually, just kidding. Little dark of a joke. But you'll understand the context of that joke as soon as I start reading this. Okay. So this is handwritten. I didn't write this. It was written by someone else. Dear Dad, it's 4 a.m. on the longest night. On this, my first time celebration of the solstice, I am thinking of longest nights to come that we might spend together. To the renewal of bonds, to the renewal of responsibilities, and to the growth of hopes and dreams, interdependent and intertwined. I love you dearly. You've kept me living. I hope someday to return the service. And that was written on December 23rd, 1995. There's a signature, but it's like not readable.
So many chills.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's just crazy. So the fact that you pulled that off the shelf, we'd been talking about the solstice earlier today, and then like a nice handwritten note to a dad.
Yeah.
That's very sweet and endearing. So yeah, I was like, gotta buy this.
Have to.
Gotta buy this. So gonna keep that just because that's really interesting.
Yeah.
What
a lovely note.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah. So
that was a treat.
So yeah, that's kind of the show and tell aspect from what we did earlier today. It was
It's a good day.
Very entertaining morning / early afternoon with a secret surprise for certain individuals.
Yes.
That will be
really long
discussed later. Yeah, not too long. Yeah. We can't get into the specifics. Yeah. We'll lose the crowd. Okay. So, folks, that was a test. That was a test right there. I decided to intentionally take a sip of my drink when I knew there was going to be a pause in us talking, because I thought Sully would clutch up and pivot us somewhere else. And we got us. Oh. We have about 2 of these episodes per season, I feel like, where it's not bad content, but it's definitely a little bit more discombobulated.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, I know where we're going to next.
Yes.
Speaking of discombobulated.
Wow.
Like, your vehicle
My car.
situation is pretty...
Yeah, if you look out the window for the fans, if you just simply look out the window,
just have a look over that way.
You'll see a minivan out in the driveway because I'm driving my mom's minivan. We call it the swag wagon. We have for years. It's a family van that we've had since like the mid 2000s.
Nice.
So shout out first of all to my mom. Thank you for letting me borrow it. And you might be asking, why do you need to drive around a minivan? It's because my car broke down. What happened was my car, let me take you back. So my car originally, I go in for a routine oil change. I love my homies at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Why are you laughing?
Homies was not the word I expected.
Well, I almost said my guys, but I've been helped by very, very many strong, independent women there. So I didn't want to say my guys.
Okay.
My homies can be...
I always thought guys was like interchangeable.
It's 2024.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That almost works both ways now. That's interesting. I think it usually is interchangeable, but like I think people are trying to get out of that.
Oh, I'm trying to get into it.
Really?
Yeah.
I
like it more.
Right in. If you think from a business professionalism standpoint, you should be using guys.
Interesting. Yeah. Because I think it's kind of, I call my gals guys.
Well, so like a very common instance where like guys I think gets used is to end meetings. People will say, thanks guys, or stuff like at my job. And so I've been really working on just saying like, thanks everyone.
Interesting.
Things like that. So.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So anyways, I love the people at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, usually very quick procedures to get it done. We once went and got our oil changed at the same time. And I think we might have actually talked about this on an episode, but I love, because I still have a snap memory of it. And I think it came on recently, and it was like me panning my camera over, and it was you when they come over and show you the oil. Like the new oil that they put in, and you have to like look at it, then give like a nod, like, yeah, that looks right.
You actually add some more.
Yeah. Are we sure it's full? So I went and got my oil changed, and then they came out and said, hey, just so you know, you have an oil leak and a transmission fluid leak. You need to get those things looked at before you next get your oil changed. And I said, oh, well, thank you for telling me. I'm on it. I'll look into that. So I go to, and this story, by the way, is quite embarrassing for me in terms of my ineptitudes of following through on certain things. So I do leave, and then I actually did schedule an appointment at like a Firestone for them to look at it. And I asked them, I said, hey, can you look at my oil and a potential transmission leak? And I had an appointment set up, and they said, hey, unfortunately, we can't identify transmission fluid leaks, but we'll be able to tell you if you have an oil leak. And I said, okay. So then they do like a test, and then they can't diagnose it. And it's like $250 for them to do a test. And then they're like, okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to put like a dye into your oil. Okay. And then like that, and then we're going to give you your car back. Mm-hmm. You drive for about 50 to 100 miles, come back whenever you're at that number. So a few days basically. Yeah. And then we'll look again, and that dye will then show us where it is. Like we use a light, but we can't tell. So like it's clearly leaking from a very small pore, basically, or something. So I take my car, and I never went back. I drove 50 miles, and I was like, I don't really have time to go in.
When was this?
And then I drove. This is a few months ago now.
Thanks.
And then I drove 100 miles, and I still just didn't really feel like I had the time to go in. So I just never ended up going back. And I thought, well, this is dumb because they can't even fix the transmission side of it anyway. Yeah. And like, that's a problem. So then, and the car keeps working just fine, like in the midst of all of this. And at the time I made a trip out to like the other side of the state
Wow.
to visit some friends. So like, yeah, like over trips over 300 miles ish there and back again, and no major issues. And then I make an appointment with transmission people around here, and I drop off the car and basically say, I think I have a leak. Can you guys identify it for me, both transmission and oil? And they said yes. They like get my car up, and then the guy comes back in and he's like, oh, you're leaking like crazy. There's oil like everywhere.
What?
And I was like, really?
Spots?
Not really. No, like that's the thing. And like I was checking like my oil levels, and like nothing seemed off. And so he's like, yeah, you're leaking quite a bit. I was like, okay. And he said, bring it back by like next week and we'll be able to get you in. So I said, okay. And I did exactly that. Brought the car in and then talked more to the guy about like what the expectation was, like, because they were talking about how if they do a certain amount of work and they take certain things out, it's going to cost more money to put like, so there's all these costs and stuff that we have to identify. And I'm just, I hate cars and talking and going to car shops and stuff because I know nothing about them. And it's very, eye-opening and slightly, it's about being vulnerable. Because, like, I don't know enough to be able to talk, not being an expert in a field where you're putting money on the line. And, like, your well-being and your car's well-being on the line is just, it's a little daunting. And, like, so it's slightly embarrassing. Or at least it can feel that way from my point of view. To, like, go in and be like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So I just have to trust whatever you're saying. Yeah. And then, like, there are people in my life who know more and are very useful and helpful. So shout out to those people. But at the same time, it's not like they can come hold your hand every time you have to go get something done for your car. So that's a little unlucky. Just that I was not born with a desire to know anything about cars. Couldn't care less. But I had originally agreed. I was like, okay, we're going to do this. Because I'm usually one for just whatever. Fix it. I will pay for it. Doesn't matter.
Well, especially your car. I feel like you do a good job trying to keep it in good condition.
Yeah, keep it running. But then more so, I guess my point is, just for audience context, like my brother and I, for example, are very different. Where if something were to break around the house, say something plumbing related, he would try and fix it first. I would simply pay out of pocket a plumber to come fix it immediately. I don't do very well at the initial Bob the Builder stuff. So the car is very similar, right? But the car is like I don't even have a chance at trying to repair it myself, besides the simplest of stuff. And so I was just ready to be like, all right, I'm just going to pay to fix all this stuff. And so then I kind of like, and once I'm committed to a decision, usually I stick to it. And yeah. And so the funniest part about all of this was that I go back in and I drop the car off and I walk inside, and like the next step would be me handing my keys off, and then they're going to do a bunch of work and I'm going to end up paying for it. And I talked to the guy, the owner of the shop, nice guy. And I'm like, hey, I still have these reservations, like about everything we've talked about. Cause I'm thrown off. I'm confused, like on what's going to get fixed, what you guys are actually seeing, how much it's going to cost. We end up talking and I'm just like, like I didn't pay much for this car in the first place. I don't want to sink too much cash into it anyway. And so I walked away. I actually walked away. Like I said, you know what? I really appreciate you guys and give me all the info, but I'm good. I think I'm just going to figure out a different avenue. Okay. And so I left, and he was a nice guy. I was like, I said something that I thought was nice, but I think he took it the wrong way, where I was like, I appreciate it, and I'm sorry for basically sorry for getting your hopes up that you were gonna have this car to work on. Not in I more so meant it as sorry for wasting any of your potential time. Yeah. Whereas I think he took it as me saying, wow, sorry, I'm not giving you guys business, because his response was, oh, well, we have no shortage of work to do around here. And I was like, oh, I wasn't trying to attack your guys'
establishment.
Yeah, no, I meant more so just like my apologies
Yeah.
for like having to go through 3 rounds of discussions before choosing not to have you guys work on it. So, anyways, I leave, and that probably was over a month ago even, and then just drove the car per normal. Came out here a couple times, I think maybe once or twice. Um, was I in that car for the? Because I would have been in that car for the Halloween episode, I think. Yeah, and so because we recorded that before actual Halloween, and then this happened like right around or maybe a couple days after Halloween. I'm getting lost in the weeks, but regardless, Celia and I were driving out to, we went out to my doctor, my urgent care, to get my ears cleaned, because my ears were bothering me, and I was trying to like ask about potential like day of prescriptions for anxiety medication, and so I'm literally like on a trip to basically try and mitigate my anxiety. I then on the way back, on our way to Costco, which is not a great way to mitigate anxiety. We're on the highway, and like it's really hard to explain, especially because I'm not a car guy, so like I can't explain it to you in technical terms. But like my car just started to like shake quite a bit, and like not like shake in like a you're running over a bunch of bumps. So like it wasn't really like my tires. It was more so like my engine felt like it was shaking a bunch, which isn't good. So like I got off the highway, pulled over, like stopped. Nothing was smoking. Temp gauges all looked fine. All these, like watch outs. Because I have had, for anyone who might think I literally don't know what I'm talking about. I know some things I'm talking about because I have literally had a car explode on me while driving over Snoqualmie Pass. And I had to wait on the side of the road there with a smoking car for 3 hours for a tow truck. So I know a little bit about at least the experience side of what it's like to have a car break down. So like I was just looking for indicators, but really nothing seemed too terrible. And then I dutifully called my mother and was like, "Hey, here's where I am, and like here's what's happening. I don't know what's up. Like everything had been running seemingly just fine." It was actually, I think it was the day after we had recorded, because part of our theory is like, did I just drive it too much in like a 24-hour period that it kind of finally gassed itself, because like it had been doing fine, but for the most part I'd only been driving to this grocery store and back. So it's your fault. Just kidding. But there was this auto shop up the road from where we were, and we were like, let's just try and get it there. And then my mom said, I'll come meet you, even though it was a Sunday. So we go and drop it off, and then or waiting, and then basically I just call and leave a message like, hey, because they're only open Monday through Friday. It's like, hey, I left my car outside, give me a call back when you get the chance, all this stuff. And they then my mom picks me up, and I inherit the van for a little bit. And so then this is about 2 weeks ago now. And so I call on Monday and confirm like with them the stuff about my car. And but I had kept the keys because I didn't have any. So I was like, hey, I had to drive over to them and give them my keys and then set stuff up and like explain to them what happened, all this stuff. And so I do all that, and then I leave, and they said, well, we'll try and work on it, but we're really busy this week. And I said, look, I just want someone to look at it. I have the spare car. I should be fine. Whole week goes by, they don't get to look at it. The second week, they still don't get to look at it.
Wow.
So then just this last literally 2 days ago, they finally call me, and they had gotten to look at it that third week. And the guy called me and said, hey, we've test driven it 3 times, and nothing has happened. Like, it's been driving just fine.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, oh, and like we're laughing on the phone because I'm like, of course that would be the case. And I even I said, look, I'm assuming you guys can't drive it out on the highway. And he said, yeah, no, we don't take cars that we think are broken on the highway. And I was like, yeah, like totally fair. But he said we do take it out onto this road, this long road that is like a 50. And he's like, so we try and get it up to like 50, 60. I was like, okay, well, that's like, if you were doing that, that's good. And yeah, so he said 3 test drives and nothing's happened. And I was just like, all right, great. And he said, yeah, if you want to just come pick it up. And so tomorrow he's going to do one more test drive. And then I'll go, and then assuming it's still fine, I'm just going to go pick it up. And then it really becomes a decision of how I'm only going to try and drive it locally for the most part. And then if it lasts me another few months or even more than that, just driving locally, great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with that. I don't have too many plans for long journeys. And then in general, it kind of becomes this game of like, okay, can I sell it for cheap and just move on and buy a new car? I don't know. But that's a really rounded version of a story that I didn't expect to go into that much detail on. But that's why I'm driving the minivan. Sully didn't know any of this. I had to tell Sully that I didn't have my car to come do this today.
Yes. Yeah.
All because of what happened over the last month and a half.
That's okay. Well, we haven't seen each other in a long time.
Well, I guess it hasn't been a month and a half. It's only been the first stuff happened before our last recording. If you think about it. So it's been 2 weeks for us. Or three, I guess.
That's crazy. I'm glad you have the van though. I mean,
the van's awesome.
Is Celia's car reliable?
Celia's car is semi-reliable. I thought I might hear a chuckle from the other room. Celia's car has been very reliable in terms of what we've needed since my car's gone out of commission. Celia doesn't necessarily love driving her car long distances either, though. Yeah. Alignment, things of that nature.
Tough.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Roz's car. So this is kind of his car that we drove today, which is good. But the one before that was having a lot of issues like alignment stuff, and it would shake really aggressively. Yeah. I'm not really sure what that was about. And he had it for like a long time, and finally we said, okay, this is probably gonna not last much longer, so we got a different one. But yeah, not great, especially when you're driving, because we would drive on I-90 a lot between the 2 places that we were in school.
Oh yes, yeah, for sure.
Like, this probably isn't great.
Well, that's the funny thing, because my mom and I were talking about my car and like selling it and like what we paid for it and stuff, and like, it's been a few years. I've owned it for almost 4 years now, but I sure put a lot of miles on it when I was living out in our old place, because coming back to and from, because I think I got it around it was in the 160s, and now I'm in the mid 190s, and the large majority of that would have been in the 2 years that I was out there. For sure. Just going back and forth.
Where'd you get it? Was it like on Craigslist?
It was Craigslist, yeah. It was just a Craigslist buy from someone local, just a family, and they gave it to us. Like, it was like it's an 06 Sportage, and we got it for $2,000, and it's, like I said, it's run fine up until literally right now, and who knows, it might still be running just fine. Yeah, and I'm fine with that, as long the only thing I don't like is, most people don't like the unknown. Yeah. And so when it comes to journeys with that ambiguity, that is what can trigger my anxiety in a big way. And so, hey, if I get the car back and I know that there's always going to be a potential for something to break on it, and I use that to then plan out my trips to the point where I'm not going on these long adventures in that car, I'm only going local, then it's not a huge issue. Because look, I don't care. Like, yes, it would be inconvenient, but if I'm just driving to Safeway, I don't care. Okay. I can get it towed. I could walk home. Like, I could literally walk home. It'd be issues of like driving all the way out here or further. Yeah. Basically, that would come into question. I think I'd risk it here, because really it's not even that long on the highway for me to get out here. That's true. You're only on it for a little bit, and then you kind of get on the side roads. Yeah. So that's another thing, like, not only distance, but where you have to pull over if you were to break down. No one likes pulling over on the side of the highway. First of all, it's embarrassing. All those cars looking at you.
Well, I also consider like coverage, because I have a couple friends who and I've even thought about it. Not that my car would break down, but like if I got in a crash or something like that, and just no coverage for like 20 minutes.
Right.
It's like, well, that's not.
Wait, do you mean coverage like cell coverage? Yeah. Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
I thought at first you were talking about like trees, or like being able to get under cover. Oh. Like if you were on the highway and it was raining, you would just be stuck in a rainstorm.
No, I'd
No,
probably
you meant
stay in the
cell
car.
coverage. Yeah, well, I would think.
I mean, like cell coverage.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I needed help.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Huh.
I thought about that.
Yeah. So now, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm really big into right now the idea of getting back in the truck game.
Nice.
But like not annoying trucks. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Just like little Rangers, something like that, which I had. I
liked
two.
your truck
The trucks.
too.
Yeah, because I had that first one, then I got in that horrific car crash
Yeah.
that almost took off my limbs, so I couldn't take the math quiz the next day. You remember? Do you remember this? I was in so much pain.
I remember, like, everyone at school had seen
Everyone saw me.
Like,
What was everybody
so many
doing
people.
out that day?
Yeah. I remember that.
But yes, no, I had
I
a.
only remember the tan car though, the tan truck.
Yeah, no, the first one was white and like with a like red stripe on it, and so that was a '92 Ranger. Get rear-ended in that, and it totals the car. And '92 Rangers, fun fact, don't have airbags. They're just so old they weren't installed with them. And then we got a '96 Ranger, which was like the tan one. And I love both of them. That one I loved even more, like the tan one. It was really useful, really easy to drive. Those small trucks are so easy to drive. Not obviously in weather permitting.
Yeah.
Like you obviously don't want to end up in a tough storm with like certain trucks, especially with no weight in the back. But
right.
Like for just like driving to school and stuff, it was fun. They fit everywhere.
Yeah.
But you can always just load stuff up.
That's
so
nice.
One of the things I was thinking of is like, and I don't think I will because I don't make decisions fast enough. But I thought of how fun it would be to have a truck for Christmas tree hunting.
Ooh,
and just be able to throw a tree in the back and tie it down.
That would be so nice.
Yeah, because right now I'm not sure what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not showing up in the minivan, although that would be kind of funny.
It'd be great.
We did it. I mean, that's what we did when we were kids.
Yeah.
We would show up to a tree farm with a minivan and then tie it on top and then
all
leave.
the children pile out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, ours isn't a minivan, but the tree's probably gonna have to go on top because I don't want it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go.
I don't think it depends on the size of the tree because we're thinking about getting a kind of big one.
That's what we're thinking.
Because we have the vaulted ceiling. Well, yeah, you guys have super tall ceilings too.
Ceilings in that corner that was super tall.
Yeah, super tall.
Yeah.
So we could fit in a pretty big tree. And the thing is, once you get a big tree, the only thing about getting a big tree, from my opinion, and I am a new to adult, where I haven't had to do too many like tree hunting of my own. But from my opinion, from what it seems like, the hardest part about getting a big tree is getting the big tree. Once it's up, it's up. And then once it's time to, like, once, the holiday season's over, like, I feel like, for the most part, A, it dies, like, slowly. And then B, like, you can trim it up, like, chop stuff off to make getting rid of it way easier. Obviously, you can't do that. So, like, the hardest part is, like, getting it in your home, which I don't want to undervalue, but, like, I think we got that like, we can do it. And then once it's in, it's in. You set it up, you water it, and then you live your life. And then once it's
beautiful.
Yeah, and it's awesome. So yeah, I think we want to go with a somewhat big tree, because I know like we got those couches in there, and it'll work. We can get a tree in there, so that'll be fun. But
lovely.
I'm not sure. I might try and coerce my brother to come, because he has a truck.
Yeah, I can try and coerce my dad too, because he has a big truck.
Oh.
And they don't buy a tree. They have a different tree.
Oh, very nice.
And he's willing to help out with things, so if you need to. Nice. We might have to do that for our tree too.
I'll let him on the pod if he...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun though, and it'll be up...
Yeah. Right. 47:20. Can you just believe that?
Did I mess something up?
Well, we didn't make it clear that anything was happening. Now certain listeners are going to be like...
I'm so sorry. Even earlier on, I was like, am I supposed to talk about this? And
You can. I mean, now we're still talking about it, so it's really unclear what I'm even going to bleep.
So
maybe don't write it down. Yeah, it's cropped. There's not a bleep. It's just all of a sudden we're just talking about penguins. I really like them.
Or we could do that thing where right now we say like, sorry about that, had to cut some stuff out, and we're back with our conversation.
That's good. But yeah, so that is part car issue, part tree hunting story someday.
Yeah. Lots happening.
Mm-hmm. Where are you guys gonna put yours?
Right here.
Oh, in that little nook?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is that a good spot, do you think, or should I put it somewhere else?
Well, yeah, it looks wide enough.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. This dining table shortens,
Okay.
so it would, we'd either push it or just collapse it.
The fans gotta love this part. Talk about things they cannot see.
We have how dining tables can get bigger or smaller. It's in the big size, we can make it smaller. But yeah, we want to get a tall tree because we have pretty tall ceilings.
Tall.
And I don't really know where else we would put it except for right there.
Mm-mm.
Like unless we...
Yeah, you would have to
access
completely
that room a
rearrange.
lot,
Right.
So yeah, it's gonna be over here.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we have one specific corner that pretty much is guaranteed of where it's going to go, because it just kind of simplifies
a good spot for it.
the whole process. So that'll be exciting. We're looking forward to. I'm pretty sure Celia bought some more lights for it.
Okay, actually, I want to talk about this too.
Okay.
What kind of lights do you guys put?
White lights.
Big or small?
Oh, Celia, are we big lights or small light people? Like Christmas tree lights. Small.
Okay. Do you guys put any lights outside? I guess
we don't really have a way of doing that. Yeah.
So, because I have some decisions to make regarding our Christmas lights,
Right.
And I haven't made them yet, and I don't know what I'm going to do because we're just probably going to put like a little bit, like not very much, but I don't know. Should I do colored? That's what I'm.
Well, so okay, so
you have smoke on your face.
Yeah, because I love colored lights.
Okay, me too.
And not to say that Celia doesn't like colored lights, but
that's fine.
There is something, and I love both, but I want a little bit of color in there.
Right.
I think white lights have a very important role to play in the Christmas season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, where that line is drawn, it depends on what you're decorating, I feel like, for sure.
Well, Roz grew up with colored lights on his Christmas tree.
Really? Same.
And outside, they had colored lights.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with hardly any white lights.
Interesting.
I just like the look of them.
Opposite.
Okay.
Only white lights. Like,
interesting.
We didn't have any colored lights.
Wow.
But I think we've decided we're going to do white lights on the tree.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like makes the ornaments brighter and it doesn't like draw away because we have like a lot of bright ornaments.
Yeah.
And then I think I might do colored lights outside because they look like gumdrops.
Yes. Yeah. Fun. I think the best way, because like in the way I view it is your Christmas tree, like the general your Christmas tree is for your own personal like joy, right? And so what's the best? What type of joy do you want? The brightest, obviously. So you go with things that, as you said, make your tree brighter, which are going to be just white lights for the most part. And then they bring out the ornaments too, if you do a good job balancing your ornaments as well. And then how do you, for like external stuff, how do you make other people happy?
Right.
I think colorful stuff makes other people happy more, like the more like overall society energy around this, like the holiday time of year, is looking towards more of the colored, like green, red. I guess, what would you call the third color of Christmas?
Well, I was actually going to do multicolored. Like, not just like green and red or just like one color. I was going to do the kind that have like
yellow and blue.
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking you, like, if you had to say, because you would agree that red and green are the. Yeah. What do you think is the third? No, let's leave
silver or gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I'm tempted to throw blue in there. I don't know why. Or yellow.
So yellow was going to be my...
What's that one song? There's a song where it's like... Oh, is it so... Oh, no. That's not the one I'm thinking of.
For sure.
That's not the one I'm thinking of. No, that's not it either. No. Insert the song I'm thinking of right here.
Even stoplights blinker bright red and green as the...
Because there was this song we used to sing every year at our church's, not the spectacular. This was more of like the Christmas Eve service type thing, and I was on light duty, and so because we had synchronized lights and like a pad at the back of the church auditorium, and so I was given notes on which lights to have on for certain songs, all this stuff. But I was given a little bit of leeway. I had an in with the director. He was my father. And so there was one song, and again, you'll have just heard it, where it's like lights of green and gold or whatever it is. And so like I synchronized the green. I made all the lights green right when they said it, and then I would switch them to gold. And then I think there's another line that references blue. And I could be wrong, but anyways, that's why I think like blue and gold / yellow. I guess gold and yellow up there for me. So I think, yeah, if I had to say it, I would say green, red, and probably gold.
Yeah.
I'll lock that in.
But I'd put blue pretty high up there, though.
Yeah, blue's always on a string, like those stringed Christmas
Right.
lights. Blue's always going to be on there. But yeah, I think I like your strategy. I think go bright white in here and then go super colorful out there, because I think when people look at, I think when you look at the most decorated houses that get like public acclaim, they're usually really colorful. I feel like there's the ritzy, like fancy looking houses, but those aren't the people that people go want to look at. Those are elegant.
That's what mine was always like that.
More elegant.
Nice.
Yeah, of course it looks
Like
nice. Yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm so sorry to Sully.
No, it looked well.
I'm not insulting.
No,
the
it looks
decoration.
good, but yeah, I think I've never had colored lights, so I think that's kind of one of the things I'm looking towards. My aunt and uncle do some colored lights, like they have trees. Like those trees that are tall and skinny, and they would make them each a different color.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. How long do you think you would keep the stuff up?
Until Roz decides to take it down.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Roz.
So, yeah, I don't know. Not a long time. Sometime in January.
Okay. So,
What about you guys?
into the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you take it down
similarly.
before
No. Well, growing up, no. I don't think anything would come down until quickly once January hit. Like, I would say the tree was out the window by January 5th.
then? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes a difference, too, if you have a real tree.
Because it'll die, yeah.
Versus my mom has a fake tree.
Right.
And it's flocked, so it's white.
Oh.
So it kind of like post-Christmas, it kind of takes on just like a winter.
Yeah,
vibe,
and
which
that is
kinda
really
cool.
nice.
So she keeps it up a long time.
That's the
It's
hardest
really
part.
nice.
Is there anyone out there who would, and I'm not one for rewriting history, but does anyone else agree with the idea that maybe Christmas and the other major holidays should be pushed into late January?
Wow.
Because, I mean,
Like,
he
what do you
wasn't
mean?
born on the 25th
Oh.
anyway. We know this.
But I like having it in December, and then I like having a fresh start in January.
My primary concern is I love the winter vibes, but the hardest thing every single year for me is having the winter, like, weather and energy in January and absolutely no music I can listen to.
I get that.
Because
That's
everyone
fair.
gets mad if you try and keep listening to like Christmas music after Christmas, but it's like it's still snow. It's even snowier.
That's
Because that's the
interesting.
thing. January is more winter than December, arguably. You know.
I don't really like the month of January because it's so dark and cold,
Yeah,
and there's no holiday happiness.
cheer. There's no
Yeah.
cheer. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
just like sad.
Drive it back a little.
And even February, I'm excited to experience February in this location because
Mhm.
it's been since high school since I've been here. And February back where we used to live was horrifying.
Yeah,
Awful.
That's true. You don't see
Same
the
with
ground for a
March,
while.
honestly. March
Yeah.
was rough too. So I'm excited
March-
to see how I feel living back here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just push everything back a month. January 25th, the new Christmas.
Wow. Okay.
And then January 31st. It's still a
It's the
31,
new-
isn't it? January's 31
30
days,
days.
right? Oh, is it
Yeah,
30?
it's 31.
Right, so we still have the 31st for the... Well, we don't have to make it a new year. I'm not asking to move all the calendars. I take that back. That holiday stays the same.
Okay.
You still have New Year's in December.
So the year that we switch over, like say we did it this year, would we have Christmas now? New
Of course we
Christmas
would.
again?
Of course we would.
Why
yeah.
don't we just do that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, we wouldn't have to skip a Christmas. Yeah. No, two Christmases. Although it would still only be one per year, if you think about it.
Well, there you go.
So it's not really...
It's fine.
Yeah. Just budget.
I could do
budget well.
Yeah.
We'll do this in 2030 so people have time to plan
Same.
for like a 4-week period to buy.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just saying, I think it's an idea we should consider solely because I get a little thrown.
I do think January needs something to like make it better. I don't know about moving the holiday,
Okay.
but I think we could maybe add in
Another holiday?
Yeah.
Oh,
something
wow.
better than just bleak.
Can we just keep the lights up?
I'm fine with that.
The problem with the keeping the lights up is usually the lights are indicative that something is coming.
Yeah.
So if nothing were to be coming, then it kind of loses its touch if you just have fun lights up.
What if we have like your birthday early? That's basically the same time.
The nation? The
Well,
world?
Okay, what if we start a cultural change where everyone
Around
keeps their
me.
lights up
This is
longer,
good. This is what I
and then
wanted.
us personally can just celebrate your birthday early.
Okay.
That could be good.
Like, then we personally still have something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, because maybe some people don't feel this way about January.
January 31st
Your birthday
will be my new birthday.
I love that. And then 2 weeks later is Valentine's Day, and it's like that's something to look forward to.
That's true. Yeah. How about we just change the lights to like pink
Okay,
and white
nice.
as the
And we like get a big heart to put in the living room instead
Yes.
of a big tree.
Yes. Have you ever seen the videos of when different nations went to colored television for the first time?
No.
Oh. Like they pressed a button and like live broadcast suddenly started broadcasting color.
Is that accurate?
Yeah. You can look it up. Look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally, like for the United States, there was like some guy, I don't know who it is, but like he was on a news, like it was a live broadcast from, I don't know, the White House or something. And then he said, all right, when I press this button, we're going to start transmitting in color. And then he pressed it, and then there was color on the screen.
Wow. What year was that?
For some, I want to say the 50s for a lot of the countries that did this, I would say.
I remember.
Well, but when did Wizard of Oz come out, though? But that was a movie, so maybe live television wasn't doing color yet. Because Wizard of Oz, I thought, was in like the 30s or 40s.
That was and that was the first colored film, right?
Or something like
Because
that.
she had the red shoes and they turn.
Right, and that was the
black
whole
and white
thing.
to-
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, I asked my mom if she was alive before colored television. She was
Okay.
super funny.
Wow.
But I just had like no.
That's a good question. Yeah, no gauge for that.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
context for how old she was. Even.
That hurts. That really hurts. But yeah, so I was thinking we could do something similar where the Christmas lights turn into a Valentine's light.
It sounded like you were saying a violent.
A Valentine's.
Valentine's. Okay.
Silent Night, Violent Night
Oh.
is a Valentine's Day horror movie.
Sounds awful.
Or no, Silent Night, Violent Night is a Christmas
It sounds
horror movie.
Christmassy.
My bad. You just threw me off. But it's still my fault.
Thank you. It is. That is true.
You threw me off, but it is my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay. There you have it.
I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
This has just been one of those episodes where I think people will find it easiest to just sit down and read or watch TV with this playing. Because, like, it'll comfort them, but they're not sure they need to be listening to anything.
Not a lot here that they needed.
But it's still fun. These are actually some of my
fun.
favorite episodes for
Yeah.
me to re-listen to.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
They could sit down, like I've been painting a lot, or like people color.
yeah.
This could be a good one where you're like your brain's doing something else, but it's just nice to have some voices.
Definitely.
Good.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. This is another episode from our secondary recording location. We'll see if we come back here again. Do you think we would be here for your dad's recording? Do you think that would be easiest?
Well, would you rather he goes to your house?
No, I don't care either way.
Then
More so.
yeah, he'll probably be here.
Lovely. Okay, that'd be fun.
And we could, yeah.
Right here.
That could be fun. Yeah.
Picture a third person.
Actually,
right in front of the fire.
Yeah, he might complain about the temperature being a little warm.
Well, we can scoot forward a little bit.
Okay, yeah, we'll scooch.
But yeah, please write in. Sully already detailed out the email, so just click that link. Go check out our YouTube. Didn't actually ever find any time to edit any YouTube shorts for, I think, episode 4 or 5.
Such a bummer because there's some good stuff.
I was having so much fun with it too for the first few episodes. So gonna look to do that for episode 6. Yeah. We'll see what little clips we have out of this. I don't know. AI is like nothing interesting happened. Usually a big laugh. Like even that might get it. Yeah. So thank you, AI.
Shut up.
But yes, we'll hopefully record soon. We have 4 more episodes to go.
That's great.
4 more episodes in about 6 weeks. I think it's doable. And yes, we'll let you guys know for the holiday merch giveaway. So remember to just be listening to episodes. I would say by 8 or 9 we'll have that finalized. For sure. So listen to episode 7 just full of whimsy.
Yeah.
And then 8 or 9 listen intently for the giveaway information.
Yeah.
So
and be ready to like type something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Love that.
Well, it was great chatting, and we'll see you later.
Bye.